After a month-long holiday, Adrian finally returned home, eager to see his mother, Eleanor. He had missed her warmth and home-cooked meals, but something felt different this time. Eleanor seemed unusually excited about his arrival, almost as if she had been waiting for something significant to happen. As Adrian stepped into the house, he noticed a young woman standing near the kitchen door. She looked nervous, her hands clasped tightly in front of her. His mother beamed. "Adrian, meet Hazel," she said. "She's been helping around the house while you were away." Hazel hesitated before offering a shy smile. Adrian noticed her worn-out clothes and timid demeanor. She seemed out of place, yet there was something familiar about her presence. Later that evening, over dinner, Eleanor explained that Hazel had lost her parents and had no place to go. Adrian felt a pang of sympathy. "She's not just a maid, Adrian," Eleanor continued. "She's part of this family now." Something in his mother's voice made Adrian pause. He had never known her to take in strangers so easily, but he decided not to question it. Over the following weeks, Adrian and Hazel spent more time together. They talked over breakfast, shared stories about their childhoods, and ran errands at the market. Their conversations flowed naturally, revealing surprising similarities. Eleanor noticed their growing bond and subtly encouraged it. One evening, she suggested, "Why don't you take Hazel to the park? She hasn't seen much of the city." Adrian agreed, and that day became one of the happiest he had experienced in a long time. Hazel's laughter was contagious, her innocence refreshing. Before he knew it, his feelings had deepened. One evening, as they sat under the old oak tree in the backyard, Adrian realized he couldn't hold back any longer. "Hazel," he said, taking her hand, "I don't know how or when it happened, but I've fallen in love with you. Will you marry me?" Tears welled up in Hazel's eyes. "Yes," she whispered. "Yes, Adrian." The moment should have been perfect, but as Adrian slipped the ring onto Hazel's finger, a loud gasp broke the silence. They turned to see Eleanor standing at the doorway, her face pale. She clutched her chest and collapsed. After a few tense minutes, Eleanor regained consciousness, but her expression was pained. "Adrian, you can't marry her," she whispered. Confused and frustrated, Adrian demanded an explanation, but Eleanor refused to elaborate. Days passed in cold silence. Then, as if to make matters worse, she introduced him to another woman, a potential bride she had chosen for him. Adrian was livid. "I love Hazel, Mother. Why are you doing this?" "She is not meant for you," Eleanor said firmly. Angry and desperate, Adrian snapped, "I should have never come back. Maybe it would have been better if you had died before I returned." The words hung in the air like a dagger. Eleanor flinched, and regret hit Adrian instantly, but the damage was done. Eleanor's health declined rapidly. Whether it was from heartbreak or hidden illness, Adrian didn't know. But one day, she made a final decision. She arranged for Hazel to marry someone else. Hazel didn't fight it. She only looked at Adrian with tears in her eyes and whispered, "I'm sorry." Days after Hazel's wedding, Eleanor passed away. Adrian was shattered, not only by her death, but also by the unbearable silence that followed. It was only after the funeral that he found the letter she had left for him. With trembling hands, he unfolded the paper and began to read. The letter revealed a truth that shook Adrian to his core. Hazel was not just someone Eleanor had taken in, she was Adrian's biological sister. Eleanor had adopted him as a baby, never intending for him to fall in love with his own blood. "I only wanted you two to see each other as family," the letter read. "Not as lovers. Forgive me, Adrian." Adrian dropped the letter, his breath shallow. Everything, the encouragement, the hesitation, the refusal made sense now. The love he had cherished was never meant to be. As he sat in the dimly lit room, grief weighed heavily on him. The mother he had hurt, the love he had lost, and the truth he had never known, it was all too much to bear. With tears streaming down his face, he whispered into the emptiness, "I'm sorry, Mother," but it was too late.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.